Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. Tonight's show, if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that its title is Time Out for Love. And when we're talking about time outs, we're usually talking about sporting events of one sort or another. And that's because Leo rules that. And the reason why we can be all in the mood to take a time out for love right now is because the sign of Leo is highlighted very romantically. Leo rules the traditional fifth house of love affairs and children and sports and entertainment and parties. It also rules gambling and extravagance. Leos are very good-humored people, and they like to have fun, and they make wonderful hosts and hostesses because they like to see everyone enjoying themselves. So the nice thing about the sign of Leo right now is that it has two wonderful planets in it. The first one is the moon, which rules our moods and our feelings. And it is in Leo along with that love planet, Venus. And so that's wonderful because Venus and the moon together can indicate we're all in the mood for love, or we're in the mood to have a good time, or to enjoy the people that we love around us, which is just wonderful. Leo also rules the heart and the back and the blood supply, and there can be good news about our health in those matters as well. But the reason why we can even be more in the mood for love is because both love planets are trining each other, which is wonderful. So the wonderful Venus and Moon in Leo are trining Uranus in Aries. Uranus is the other love planet, and it rules platonic love, or soul-satisfying spiritual love of a rather high nature. It can be love for a job, or love for a goal, or love for a dream, or it can be something where you're all working together on something and you just love what you're doing. And so both love planets are in very harmonious aspect to each other, and so is the moon. And so that means that a lot of people are not in the mood to fight at all. And that is why all of us should be taking a little time out for love. And so no matter how busy you are or what your schedule says, I hope you slow down this week and just relax a little bit. You may as well, because I think everyone is in the mood to do that. Another reason why we can be in the mood for love is because there is a magical grand trine in water signs. The water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all rule our feelings and our relationships. And so the emphasis can be on how we feel about others. And we can all be very sure of how we feel. You know who you like. You also know who you don't like. But that's fine. The emphasis is not a negative emphasis right now. It's an emphasis on wanting to sort of be more at home and more comfortable in our relationships. And particularly the ones that are sort of simple and easy to enjoy. So with 3 planets in Cancer, and that is Jupiter, the Sun, and Mercury, all trining Saturn in Scorpio, which is now direct, and Neptune in Pisces, which is very strong. It simply means that there could be some good financial news headed your way now that Saturn is direct, or somebody else may have an ability to sort of finance something now that could make your family happy, or it could enhance your home in some way. And also with your family, or having some emotional support behind you and a little bit of money from somebody, a dream could come true now. And that is because Neptune does rule dreams, and so does the sign of Pisces. Because Neptune is retrograde, it means it's something that you've been wishing for or you wanted to do at one time in your life. Maybe now, with enough support and some money behind you, you could try to focus a little bit more on that, because maybe it's time for a wish or a hope or a dream to come true. Maybe you have enough support now that you can feel confident enough to go forward, and that would be wonderful. But still, you'd want to be taking a little time out for love right now. Another thing that can be awfully surprising is because since Venus is trining Uranus, that planet that rules sudden change, there could be a very sudden change, and some new opportunity could present itself to you, and it would come right out of the blue, and it would be absolutely the right thing to do. Remember, Uranus is in Aries, which rules new beginnings. So you might meet somebody pretty delightful, but you might also get a tip about something that is absolutely wonderful, and you would be the person that was just made for it. So you do have that to look forward to. However, there are a few other things we need to watch out for, and one of them is that Mars, that planet of aggression, war, anger, hate, and jealousy, is at the 29th degree of Gemini, which rules communication and change, and it does rule youth as well. And so, since it does rule change, and Mars is a rather dynamic planet that can overdo things, it simply means that there could be somebody around, or possibly two people, since Gemini does rule the twins. And they could be wanting to really, really cause some trouble. And in fact, you may be subject to people around you or coming at you that feel they have one last chance to really hurt somebody. And they could decide to take that chance now, since Mars is right at the end of Gemini. And for that reason, there could be some malicious gossip being spread. There could be rumors that aren't true at all, or there could just be some people who can be a victim of jealousy. And so that's why it would pay to take a time out for love right now too, and not get in quarrels with people, because there can be somebody who's absolutely desperate and feels as if it's their last chance to really hurt somebody, and they could give that a try. And that's why you might want to be a little bit more cautious. On top of that, there are a number of planets in cardinal signs, all squaring and opposing each other. So don't think that just because a lot of people are in the mood for love that everyone is going to agree with everything right now. And that is because Jupiter, the Sun, and Mercury are squaring Uranus in Aries, and they are also being opposed by Pluto in Capricorn. So a lot of people have differing viewpoints, and as long as you sort of take a time out for love right now and don't want to get in an argument, I think you'll have a pretty good week. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think you can certainly be in the mood for love, Aries. After all, Uranus, that love planet that is in your sign and indicates sudden change and rebellion, is exactly trining Venus in Leo, and of course the moon is in Leo as well. So these planets are in such harmonious aspect to each other that I suggest you do take a time out for love, Aries, and enjoy yourself. That means that all of us, but particularly you, may want to spend a little time enjoying simple pleasures and sharing them with the people that you really care about. So I'm not talking about anybody spending a lot of money. I'm just saying it's nice to get together with people that you really like, and I think you're going to have a great opportunity to do that, and you really should concentrate on that, Aries, because there are a number of planets in cardinal signs all squaring your sign, which means that there can be other challenges in your life. And if I were you, this is just a rare golden time when you ought to forget that right now and concentrate on love and simple pleasures if you can. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time for love for everybody, but yours is a financial sign, Taurus, and so you always do have a little eye on the bottom line or on the opportunity to make a little extra money, because your sign is the sign of the good provider. And so for that reason, you may be wondering why the bills can be so high right now. You could be perplexed by that. And that is because the moon and Venus, your own ruler in Leo, are squaring your sun. So costs associated with a lover or with children or sports or entertainment can be rather high right now. And so I think that you might have to pay a little more for whatever you want to provide for right now. And also there can be a little element of betrayal going on in your life, Taurus, and this is just a time when you might get stuck with the bill. But if it's for somebody that you love, I hope that you are generous about that as well. Saturn is now direct in Scorpio, and it is strongly opposing your sun and squaring that Venus and moon in Leo as well. And so I don't think that you are going to exactly feel very loved right now, Taurus, but that might be because you have to consider either higher costs or changing some strategic financial plan of yours in order to cut down on costs in one way or another. So I hope that because other people are in the mood for love, I hope they include you so that you have a nice week. But also, I do think you're going to have to attend to things that are very high priced, or else you're going to have to really concentrate on cutting some things down right now. And that might be a really good idea, Taurus, because then you would have less to worry about. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is simply a time when you really need to be on your guard. In fact, I would put my defenses up really high right now, Gemini, and the reason why is that Mars is at the 29th degree in your sun sign, and that is the degree of fate. That malevolent planet has no more room to move, and so there can be somebody in your midst who is very angry or jealous or vindictive, and they feel they've got one last chance to attack. It might be a verbal attack, it might be an attack connected to some sort of communications in one way or another, but they really are somewhat desperately wanting to do that. And I hope you're not around those people, and I hope you don't feel like that, Gemini. This would be a really good week for you to concentrate on taking a time out for love and making yourself happy, and I hope you do that, because I wouldn't want to see you get in any trouble. And you could overdo it right now, or you could be extremely critical of others, and you could feel like you were really right, but you'd sure be missing a golden opportunity to share simple pleasures with people. And I think that's what you should concentrate on, because the moon and Venus in Leo are sextiling your sun. There is somebody around that would love the pleasure of your company, Gemini, so why don't you relax and just go for that, and hope that you can. And so I hope you can stay away from angry people, or if you feel you're really right about something, this is not the week to criticize others, even if you are right, Gemini. So I hope you sort of play it cool. All right, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, as always, I think that you're going to have a wonderful year, because Jupiter, the Sun, and Mercury are now in your sign, and Jupiter will stay in your sign for a whole year, forming a magical grand trine with Saturn in Scorpio and Neptune in Pisces. And that means that you in particular can be very sure of your feelings. You can want the best for your home and your family, and you could be certainly thinking of taking a time out for love. And the reason why is because the moon and Venus are right ahead of your sun sign, Cancer. So if you're sure of your feelings and you're feeling a lot of emotional support right now, there is also the possibility of additional financial support. And that is because some money that had been held for a very long time could begin to come your way. And that is because Saturn has now gone direct in Scorpio and is trine your sun. And with that to aid you, I think that you can go back now and re-examine your hopes and dreams, and possibly decide to make some major commitment to a dream that you want to have come true in the future. And it might be by November, when there is a solar eclipse in Scorpio trining your sun. So you could be sort of turning things around in your heart right now. And I hope that the emphasis is certainly on love, but it should be love for what makes you happy as well, Cancer, not just everyone else. So think about that. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, you are certainly in the mood for love, aren't you? And I think that could extend to everyone you know, Leo, because remember, the moon is in your sign as well. The moon is passive, but it does rule our moods. And so you are somebody who can be in a rather good mood these days. You could certainly want to laugh and have fun, and you could want everyone else to join you as well. So you may be doing some entertaining this week, or you may be involved in some rather fun activity, and it might concentrate on children or on sports or on entertainment, which are some of the things that your sign rules. Your sign also rules horse racing, so you might want to go, and you could get really lucky this week, Leo. And that is because both love planets are trining each other. So it is you that may get a golden opportunity right out of the blue to do something that is absolutely perfect for you. And if I were you, I'd say yes in a heartbeat, Leo. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when you need to be extremely careful. And the reason why is that Mars in Gemini at the 29th degree is squaring the 29th degree of your sign, Virgo. And that simply means that there can be somebody around who feels they have one last chance to attack you, and they could give it their best shot right about now, Virgo, and that could be through malicious gossip or spreading rumors that aren't true, or it can simply be that there can be a snag in communications or even some sort of cover-up that is connected with that could throw you off. Yours is a rather methodical, well-organized sign, and I think that there is the chance of being disrupted in some way, having a schedule disrupted, or even having your life disrupted in some way, Virgo. So you need to be real careful of that. And since the moon and Venus are right behind your sun sign in Leo, this certainly is time for you to enjoy a little bit of love behind the scenes, Virgo. And it wouldn't necessarily show to all of your friends, but it could be concentrating on children or on sports or just on having some nice entertaining and sharing simple pleasures with other people. Try to withdraw and do that, Virgo, instead of trying to be on the defense against somebody who's trying to attack you. If I were you, I'd duck and get out of their way and go and enjoy yourself instead, because once the timing of their last chance is over, they won't be able to hurt you again. And so that is why you really need to stay away from anyone you suspect is jealous or envious of you, and avoid them at all costs, Virgo. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I think if somebody does try something malicious, or if there is a disruption in communication, or in anything where people are getting together, particularly partners are getting together, or there is discussion of a contract of any kind, I think that you could somewhat benefit by some sort of disruption right now. How could that be? It could be because you are so calm, Libra, even though there are several planets in cardinal signs squaring and opposing your sun sign, which means you are certainly facing a whole lot of challenges. And I would say you're facing an awful lot of people that you can't please. You can't get everybody on the same page right now, Libra, no matter how diplomatic you are. But if somebody tries something really overt or really cruel, I think you're going to be able to react in it in your usual calm and diplomatic way, and that could make you shine, Libra. It's funny, but sometimes trouble is what brings out the best in us, and that might happen to you this week, but don't worry, you're going to do just fine. You won't change anybody else's mind about anything, but you may end up really standing out for all of the good qualities that you have. So have a lot of faith in yourself, and I hope you still take time out for love, because Venus and the moon in Leo are sextiling your sun, so that is certainly possible. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is an excellent time for you because there is such strength in the water signs, and because Saturn in your sign has now gone direct. Saturn is called the taskmaster because that planet demands that you work very hard over a long period of time for whatever honor or esteem or trust you can gain from the community. So whatever you're thinking of doing right now, Scorpio, I think you've been thinking about it for a very long time, and you can be deciding now what you want to do, either with an investment of your time or your money or both. And you can be becoming more and more committed to a plan that you've been thinking over for a very long time. It would center on the happiness of your loved ones, or on some sort of real estate matter, a possible move, for instance, that might be better for you. And it could also center on making a dream come true at last. In other words, you could have been so busy in your life doing other things that you never got around to doing what you want. And this is a time when you can think about how to arrange things a little bit more to meet your satisfaction. This is also a time when you are very conscious of what you're worth. You know that all of the experience that you've had in your life is really worth something right now, and it is to everybody. And so I would say your stock is rising, Scorpio. Not everyone is in the mood for love around you because Venus and the moon in Leo are squaring your sun. So you can't expect love from everybody because they could be a little bit too busy out having fun instead on their own. But basically, you can be very emotionally secure, and that's what you need to be in order to have enough confidence and faith to go forward and make your own dreams come true, which I think you're going to do no later than November, when there is a solar eclipse in your sun sign. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, you really need to be very, very careful too, just like Virgo. And the reason why is because that Mars at 29 degrees of Gemini is exactly opposing the 29th degree of Sagittarius in your sign. And that means somebody could tempt you to get involved in something that could really end up hurting you, Sagittarius. And so if you get an invitation to sort of stray off the beaten path, I would say no, Sagittarius, loudly, and run the other way, because somebody could really try to either hurt you or to thwart your ambition right now. And it could be because they're jealous of you. It could be just because they're very angry themselves or mean. And it could be somebody younger than you are, Sagittarius. However, you have both love planets trining your sun sign, Sagittarius. Lucky you. And so take a time out for love. Someone could invite you to do that, Sagittarius. And I think you should just say yes and not worry about enemies right now, and not be around any enemies either, because that would be dangerous for you. And Uranus, the other love planet in Aries, is also trining your sun, indicating the possibility of a sudden new start that would be just right for you. So concentrate on love this week, Sagittarius, not on war, and don't be around anybody that wants to make war right now, because they're desperate. And you don't want to be around people like that. They could really hurt you. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is simply a time when I think that you are needing to sort of face facts. And the reason why I say that is because there are so many planets in the cardinal signs that are harshly aspecting your sun sign that you cannot get away from all the many challenges that can be facing you. And they're coming from people that all have their own ideas of what's right, and they don't agree with you at all, Capricorn. So you've got to sort things out right now, and do try to think of how to make your own dreams come true. Neptune in Pisces, which is well aspected right now, is sextiling your sun, and Saturn, your own ruler, is in Scorpio, and it has now gone direct, and it too is sextiling your sun. So you do have support around you, Capricorn, and it's staunch support. And so there is the possibility that if you draw people to you that are sort of in your camp anyway and get their advice, that may help you sort out and make a decision soon. Because there are family matters or real estate matters that are not going the way you want, and they're not going to either. Someone else is going to win on that score. And so you might have to downsize, Capricorn, or move. And that would be a good idea. You just have to get your budget ready to do that. And also, Uranus in Aries is squaring Pluto in your sign, and that means somebody is very rebellious right now, and they could start off in a new direction and sort of leave you hanging. And that is entirely possible, Capricorn. So you really need to sort of pare down to what will just make you happy in the long run and concentrate on that. And I do think there can be a move. It may not be by your choice, but it may be something that's necessary. So you need to think about that. Besides, summer's a wonderful time to do that. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, you can simply be pressed very, very hard by other people who almost want you to get out of their way because they're so bent on what they want. And that is because that malicious Mars in Gemini at the 29th degree is trining your sun. And so sun sign. And so that means that somebody else, somebody younger, in fact, can be absolutely bent on having their own way right now, and they're not going to listen to you at all, Aquarius. In fact, they'll probably push forward, and there could be some sort of disruption in your life, which you will handle very well. In other words, it could be off with the old. It could be a broken contract. It could be a partner that's walking out, but there's going to be a new one walking right in, Aquarius, because after all, Gemini rules too of everything. And so I think just like Libra, you will profit from some sort of sudden change, even if it is prompted by somebody who's sort of mean right now, or is willful and is not going to listen to anybody, still I think the way you handle a problem is what's important right now, Aquarius, because I think that you'll do that very well. And your ruler, Uranus, is beautifully aspected right now because it is being trined by the moon and Venus. The fact that the moon and Venus are opposing your sun sign does mean that somebody that you're very fond of could be going on their own way. And that is simply because they want to do that. They sort of want to be an adventurer and start off on something new, and they're not going to be taking you with them, Aquarius, and you'll just have to sort of get used to that right now. As your plate is sort of full, you're going to have a lot to handle, but you're going to do a beautiful job with it. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is simply a time when, on the one hand, you can be blessed with the fact that there are so many planets in the other water signs, and they're all trining Neptune in your sun sign. And so that means there could be a little extra money around that's been around for a while and is now released in order to help you make a dream come true. And there can be better relationships, particularly with family members, or the possibility of some sort of consolidation in a move that can work out well for you sometime this summer. And that's great. But that Mars at 29 degrees of Gemini is exactly square the 29th degree of Pisces in your sign, and that means you need to really stay away from somebody who is bent on causing a problem right now and is even desperate to do it. So you do not want to be the victim of anyone that is spreading malicious gossip. So stay away from anyone that you suspect is not really your friend, Pisces, and instead take a time out for love and concentrate on simple pleasures that you can enjoy with people who are like family. Even if they're not blood relatives, they can be very warm-hearted, and you can certainly enjoy their company right now, and that's what you ought to do. So stay away from all kinds of trouble right now, because trouble could be looking for you, Pisces, and I just hope that you're looking the other way and you're not going to attract that at all, because that could be harmful to you right now. And you wouldn't see the trouble coming. That's why you need to just take a time out for love, like we all do. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.